Hello, Professor. Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Bravo, and I am 23. And today I am going to share some knowledge about agreement in syntax. But first, I will show my ID. I hope. that- Okay. I don't know. Okay. I have dry eyes, so I must use glasses for this. Okay. So let's get started. The subject is English syntax, and we talk about rules of agreement. So there are many rules, but we'll start with six. And the first one talks about the how we must check the subject before the prepositional phrase headed by off. So we have the subject here, the performance, and then we have off. Then we are talking about the performance of the students. But the subject here is the performance. So there is an agreement here. And mm, okay, I'm sorry, I'm very nervous. So when we are talking about this rule, maybe if this part of the sentence is plural, for example, here with the students, the verb is going to be singular in this case. For example, the performance is singular if for the third person, so we are going to use is. It doesn't matter if here is plural because this is not the subject. And then, okay, we have the same case here. The motivation of the students is increasing with a new topic. So here again, we have the motivation, as very, then the of, and then the students. The students is again plural, but we are not going to use are uh, because the subject is still the motivation and it is the third person. Then we have the methodology of the teacher is based on collaborative learning. And here again, we have the methodology is the subject, then of, and then the teacher. We must use is because our subject is the methodology. The rule two talks about when we have two singular subjects connected by or either or neither nor, and these require singular verb. For example, um, just a text or a notebook is necessary for this class. Um, we have two subjects here per se, but it is not, we are not talking about them. We are talking about it and it. So, because if we have here an and that it is another rule, we can use are, but we are talking about one thing or another. So we we must use is. Here we have neither the audio activity nor the greeting exercise helps the learners understand pronunciation clearly. Here again, we are talking or neither the audio or nor the greeting exercise. Um, so the verb here is helps. It is not help because we are talking about the third person. It is singular. Next one is either the teacher or the student explains the grammar point to the class. Here again, we are talking about the teacher or the students. We have two subjects, but we are not mixing them. So the verb is in singular. it is explains. Okay. So the third rule is about when having singular or plural subjects, we use or, either, or neither nor. This must agree with the noun or pronoun closest to it. Okay, so here we have the opposite of the second rule. Uh, the sentence is either the students or the teacher is explaining the topic to the new student. Here we have the students or the teacher. In this case, the verb is because the teacher is the closest subject to the verb. Um, then we have the second sentence, and it says either the tutor or the parents represent the key to a great education. So, as we said, the parents is the subject that it is the closest to the verb, in this case, represent. So, is going to be in singular. The last one says neither the students nor the teacher expects to encounter difficulties during the lesson. So, as the as the first one, we have the teacher again. So it is singular. It is the third person. We are talking about he, she, or it. So the verb is going to have an s, and it is expects. For the 4 point, for rule, we have when the subjects are singular or plural and are connected by and, use a plural verb form. Then, as I mentioned before, when we are mixing per se the subjects, planning and methodology are mandatory for teachers to succeed. We'll use plural form for verbs. Then gamification English audios help to improve students' motivation. Gamification and English are the subject. So, when well, gamification English audios help to improve students' motivation. So, help, it is the verb, and it does not um, say helps. So, music and movies in English can help to improve listening skills. We have a can in here, but we still have a plural, so it is still does not use an as. Okay, for the last two rules, we have the five, and it says in case in which the singular subject is separated by phrases such as along with, as well as, the verb remains in agreement with the subject. So the learning platform, along with its new features, supports personalized education. We can remove this part and it still has sense. It still makes sense. So the verb support will be in agreement with the learning platform, with the subject, and it is in singular, so it must be written like this. The student, as well as his classmates, needs extra practice with even we have a subject, we have persons, we have a person, we have people here. Um, we have to pay attention and check that the verb is in agreement with the subject. In this case, the student, so it is singular. EFL teaching, along with the new digital resources, supports interactive learning. Here again, EFL teaching is a subject, and it is in agreement with the verb, so it is support in singular. For the last rule, we have if the noun after of is singular, use a singular verb with words like. percent, fraction, majority, some, all, etc. If the noun is plural, then use a plural verb form. For example, we have here 40%. It could be fraction, majority, some students, all the students, some teachers. Okay. In this case, I used percent, but it could be any of them. And we must pay attention to the verb and the noun. If the noun, for example, here the class is singular, so we must use does not because it's singular. In the next, we have the plural because um, it says the students, 90% of the students are accomplishing the requirements of the grade. So the students are plural, so we must use are. And here again, 3% of the students are struggling with the past perfect tense. So in this case, as we have percent, and we must pay attention to the noun, in this case the students, and use are because it's plural. So that's everything, and thank you so much for your attention.